Hey there, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. It's Friday late at night. It's almost 1 a.m. But I really wanted to do this right now because I have the weekend in front of me to kind of start on this journey that I've thought of for myself and for you guys to show you. I'm really excited about the video that I have planned for today, and I do really have to credit my partner for kind of helping me out with this idea that I'm trying to develop here. He told me about artificial intelligence, something that is very interesting and something that I think has a bright future when it comes to technology. And he told me about this quite a while ago, and he was like, wouldn't it be great if you have artificial intelligence recommend books to you? Because you're always on Goodreads, you're always trying to find the next best book. And what if there is an entity, artificial intelligence, that can just scope out your reading taste or your reading mood and recommend the best possible books for you? Why don't you try it out? And I was like, I really need to do that. And just, I think last week, Jack Edwards actually did a video where he used ChatGPT, which is this artificial intelligence site that has blown up through the roof the past couple of weeks, to have it recommend books to him. And that video was very, very interesting because he found a couple of books that he didn't expect to really like. So I'm very curious to see if it will work when it comes to my reading taste and mood, because what he did is he requested ChatGPT to recommend fiction books to him, and I'm going to focus on seeing whether it's going to make great romance recommendations for me. As far as I understood, there is one limitation because I kind of went through the page of ChatGPT, and what it says is that the kind of the knowledge base of this artificial intelligence has limited knowledge of the world and events after 2021. So typically it will recommend books which are prior to 2021. And the interesting thing also is that it may, so if I ask for something that is quite recent, because I tried it out a couple of days ago just to see how it works, and I asked for like a book that was quite recent, like something from the past year, it kind of gets confused whenever you ask something that was very recent, so that wouldn't work. That's why I'm going to stick to kind of asking for recommendations that will help it out to recommend something that is valid to me. So not really try to ask for, recommend me something like Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, because it would get confused. That's just as an example to get my point across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen record my screen on my laptop here. And because my laptop and my phone are on the table, you may get shaky for a little bit when I'm typing. I hope you don't, but let's just start with a greeting. Hi there. Hello, how can I help you today? It's very polite. Now, let me see what I'm in the mood for. I obviously, since like last year, I've been really on a kick with sports romances, especially hockey romances, but those are kind of recent, so I don't want to make it too confused by being so specific. So I'll just ask, could you please recommend an angsty sports romance book for me to read? Sure. Here's a highly rated sports romance book with angsty elements, The Deal by L. Kennedy. I've read this one. Do you have another recommendation? Of course, here's another one, Play by Play by J.C. Burton. This is a sports romance series featuring various romantic entanglements between professional athletes and the women in their lives. All right, let's see if this one works. I'll go to Goodreads. Ask for something else. What should I ask for? Maybe I want to read something more emotional. Do you have anything similar to Brittany C. Cherry's books? K.A. Tucker. I've read most of K. Tucker's books. 10 Tiny Breaths, Until It Fades. I think I haven't yet read Until It Fades, actually. Let me just see. I think it's on my TBR. Oh, wait. I'm in the wrong screen here. Until It Fades by K. Tucker. Yes! This is one I can do because I've had it on my TBR for a while and I haven't read it yet. And I think I even have it on audio in Storytel. I'm gonna have to check it out. But I'll definitely do this one. Should I do another one? Should we do 2 or 3 books? How many books should we do for this one? Could you recommend anything similar to Mariana Zapata's The Wall of Winnipeg and Me? I don't know if I wrote it correctly. The Slow Burn series by Kay Bromberg. The Hooker and the Hermit by L.H. Causeway and Penny Reed. Does she have a series called Slow Burn? She doesn't. But hey, there is an interesting series, The Player. It's a baseball romance. It has 4.22 and it was published in 2017. I haven't come across this author or this series, The Player and the Catch. I may research this. I have everything that I need. I'm going to look up the books and see whether I have them on Storytel or whether I need to get the ebooks for them. And once I've started reading them, I'm going to update you. Stay tuned. It's time to give you an update. The first update for this reading vlog where I have let ChatGPT choose my books for me to read. And I've started K. Tucker's Until It Fades. I'm about 50% into that book. I started it this morning when I went to the hairdresser, and I have to say I really like it. Obviously I love K. Tucker. I've loved most of this author's books. Most of the books that I've read by this author are either 4 or 5 star reads for me. So that's not a surprise that I'm really enjoying this. But I have to say that at the 50% mark, we're really not getting any romance yet, which is not bothering me. I don't know, maybe because I've been reading a lot of stories where there's a lot of sparks flying very early on into the books. So this is a very nice refreshment, kind of a a break from whatever I've been reading in the past couple of weeks, and I'm really liking it. In this story we have Catherine, who as a teenager she got involved with her art teacher, but then her mother found out that she has been involved with her teacher, so she forced her to go to the police and turn him in because she was still 16 or 17. So she did that, but unfortunately for her and her family, this teacher is part of this family that kind of runs their little town. They kind of got disgraced because of this action, the fact that they went to the police. So yeah, she had to quit the school. She couldn't complete her school year. She couldn't get her degree in high school. She had a very strenuous relationship with her parents because of what happened. And when she turned 18, she basically left her parents' home. And unfortunately for her, a couple of months in, she found out that she's also pregnant, not by the teacher, but by just some guy who was not in her life. She was in a very difficult position where she has no prospect of, finishing school, getting a good job. She's thinking of how she's going to take care of this child, and she's absolutely at the lowest of lows that she can be in her life. Um, Fortunately for her, the diner in the small town where she lives is managed by this amazing woman who takes her under her wing, Lou. And our heroine, she works at this diner, and fast forward, I think like 6 years ahead, when her daughter is 5 years old, she is set up to go on this blind date with this horrible, horrible man. She goes on this blind date and she's just counting down the hours until she can get back home. And she gets into her beat up car. It's a very kind of rainy, foggy day and or evening, I have to say. And then in front of her, she sees that this very expensive sports car has a car crash right in front of her. And she goes over to that car to see what is going on. She sees that one of the guys who was in that car has kind of flown through the window, so she kind of knows that it's not good. And then she goes to the car and she sees that one of the guys is still stuck in the car. So she does everything in her power to get him out, even though he's like twice her size. She almost gives up, but then she smells that the car is going to catch fire. So she kind of puts all of her into getting him out of that car, and she succeeds. Um, Unfortunately for her, this action is something that kind of brings attention to her because the guys who were in the car were professional hockey players, and the whole crash became like national news. She wants to avoid any kind of attention on her because of what happened in the past. She doesn't want her daughter to know her history yet, and she basically doesn't want to admit that she saved the day, that she saved this guy, because the other guy passed away unfortunately, but this guy, I think his name is Brett. He, yeah, he wants to know who saved him, but she doesn't want to make known that she's the one who saved him. So she tries to avoid it as long as she can, but eventually it comes out that she's the one who saved him. So he comes to visit her to thank her. And it's really, they're strangers, they do meet and they have this a bit kind of like an awkward conversation together because he's like famous and she's like this poor little woman, single mom living in this kind of shack of a rental house in the middle of nowhere. And really two different worlds, two completely different lives coming together. So they're really strangers, and at the 50% mark, they've gotten to a point where they've talked on the phone a couple of times, exchanged a couple of texts. She did an interview with him. That's when, really, for her at least, it was visible that he was looking at her in a specific way where it looks like he's interested in her. So it's very, 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 very slow burn at this moment, but I love slow burn, so it really doesn't bother me at all. And I'm really invested in her story. I'm invested in wanting to know that she's going to get a sliver of happiness that she deserves, because she has been dealt such a shitty hand and everyone has been so mean to her and bad to her about the situation that has occurred in her past. And I'm so happy that people are seeing her in a better light now that she has done something that is very brave and heroic, and not everyone would have done what she did. So I'm so happy that people are noticing her in a positive light throughout, like now that it's like the 50-60% mark into the book. And I'm really curious as to how they're going to develop their relationship. I'm loving this. Thank you, ChatGPT, for making me read this. And I'll update you once I've finished this and I've started the new one. See you later. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to show you how beautiful it is when it's snowing out here. It's still quite early in the morning, so the snow is kind of almost untouched. And I'm going grocery shopping. And this is me. I am going to the grocery shop, and I just wanted to check in on how my reading has been going with the AI recommendations that I got. I finished Until It Fades by K.A. Tucker yesterday, and I really loved it. I mean, I love K.A. Tucker's writing style, and like I mentioned before in my previous checkup, I didn't mind the slow burn of it. I didn't mind that this story read more like a life story of the heroine than a real romance. And the romance really kicked in after like 60% within the book, when he really started to show, Brett really started to show that he likes her and he wants something with her. She was very reluctant because of his fame, and she didn't want to seem like she's mooching off of his fame and his fortune and his money. So there was this push and pull between them. And I think that obviously because she is the type of person who is very humble, very not wanting to profit from him, that is what drew him to her in the first place. And Brett is such an amazing hero, you all. I mean, there was this thing going on between Kat and her daughter, where they went to this open house just for the fun of it, because it's this beautiful kind of huge house in their small town, and they went to this open house to just check it out. And her daughter thought that it's the most beautiful house she's ever seen, and she was like, can we buy this one? Can we come live here and buy a dog and live happily ever after and make it into an inn, you know? And they started dreaming about it. And because she's someone who can draw, she bought a sketchbook and started to draw this house and what they would do with it. And they called it the gingerbread house. And it was just such a beautiful idea, and she shared that with Brett. And obviously, what did he go and do? He went and bought the house, obviously, for them. So this kind of amazing gestures just melt my heart. And I don't know, when I think about a rating, I would say I'll just give it 5 stars. I'll just give it 5 stars. I really liked it. I love K.A. Tucker, and anything that makes me want to forget that I'm like in a stressful situation, and that just takes away anything that I'm thinking about, and I'm just immersed into that story, deserves to have 5 stars. So I'm just gonna keep it as 5 stars. Yeah, I'll update you soon. Hopefully my fingers won't freeze off because it's really cold. And I'll update you very, very soon. See ya. Hey there. I'm here to share with you kind of a decision that I made about this reading vlog, because I shared with you a couple of books that I wanted to start up when I asked ChatGPT to recommend some books for me. And there was a book by Kay Bromberg, which was The Player, or at least one of those books within that series, which is a sports romance. And I don't have it in Storytel, and when I went on to Kindle, I think it was like really ridiculously expensive for a sports romance. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this book, so I really don't want to spend the money to purchase that one, while I have a very large library on Storytel with books that I can possibly pick up that I still have on my TBR. So I went back to ChatGPT and asked an additional couple of questions to have them recommend one more or two more books for me, so I can find something that I possibly do have available to me. And I found two additional books that the service recommended, or it's not a service, but the search engine basically recommended to me. The first one is Flat Out Love by Jessica Park, I believe the name of the author is. This book, I basically typed in, please recommend a contemporary emotional romance, because I don't want to read only sports romances for this reading vlog. And it recommended this book to me, so I'm going to try it out. And I did see that a couple of the friends that I have rated it high, so I have high hopes for this one. And then I typed in again sports romance contemporary. I think I put in published after 2016, so I can get a more recent kind of release. And I got a recommendation for a book by Sarina Bowen, which is a hard hitter. I think it's a second book within like a companion series that she has. I have not read the first one, so I'm going to check whether I'm going to start off with that one or whether I'm going to pick up the first book, which I believe is called Rookie Move. I'm going to check which one of the two I'm going to pick up, but possibly I'll pick up Rookie Move because it's the first one, and I do have both of them on Storytel, so that makes it just easier for me to pick up. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and switch up the first recommendations that the AI bot gave me, and I'm going to go off with the second choice books because I just have them available to me and I can read them for this reading vlog. So I'm going to update you once I have made progress on one of these books, and then yeah, we'll see how much I like those, because I did like the K.A. Tucker book that it recommended, and I'm having high hopes for the other ones as well. It has been a day, my friends. I am absolutely exhausted because my baby woke up very early in the morning and he threw up. He has a stomach bug, so I've been on mom duty the whole day, disinfecting stuff, going to the doctors, going to the pharmacy, getting stuff for some soup, just trying to hold down the fort. And the only kind of positive light to my day has been that while I was doing all these chores, I was able to listen to one of the audiobooks for this video. I listened to Rookie Move by Sarina Bowen, and this one was recommended by my very newly acquired friend ChatGPT. I have to say that out of the three books that I've started for this reading vlog, I've loved two of them. At least I've not finished Rookie Move yet. I have to say I still need to finish it, but I am really pleasantly surprised. I mean, obviously I've read Sarina Bowen before, so I've loved other books by this author, but I honestly hadn't really heard or researched too much into this series that she has written. It's a hockey romance series. It's the Brooklyn Bruisers series, I believe it's called. This is the first book within the series, and it's a second chance romance. We have, I'm so bad at names. I was just listening to their names and I forgot them. The guy's name is Leo, and she is, what's her name? Georgia. Her name is Georgia. I remembered. So we have Leo and Georgia. They used to be high school sweethearts and they had an amazing relationship when they were in high school. But unfortunately, Georgia went through a very horrific event, a trauma. She was raped, she was assaulted, and after that happened, they were still together for a couple of months, but she decided to break it off with him. And he, because they were at this stage at high school, they had just graduated, he was supposed to move away for school. So he kind of understood her decision and he moved away. So at the present point in the book, 6 years have passed, and she is part of the Brooklyn Bruisers PR team. And actually, her dad is going to be the head coach for the new season. And unbeknownst to her dad, so to the coach, the general manager, I believe, he acquired a transfer. So I don't know how it works in the NHL teams, but basically he's like on trial period transfer, and then once the actual transfer season starts, they can make it official or they can let him go back to where he was kind of borrowed from. So I think that that's the case at least. So yeah, we have this rookie Leo who joins the team for the new season, and it's Georgia's Leo. It's the guy who is kind of the love of her life, and he has never gotten over her either. And it's just such an amazing kind of slow burn, but at the same time you feel like it's exactly the type of story of It's Always Been You, you know, this kind of trope, which I absolutely love. And it's done in a very tasteful way, you know, not in a way where you don't get any backstory and then you're like, yeah, but why has it always been you? You, for these two, you kind of feel it, you sense it. So I'm absolutely loving it. I'm already like 60% into the book, and there have been some touches, kisses, and they just kind of are getting hot and heavy in a hotel room while they're on an away game. But yeah, I'm just loving this story. It's a second chance, always been you. My kid is needing me. I need to wrap it up. I'll update you once I finish this book. Good afternoon, everyone. I am just fresh out of the shower and I'm going to apply some skincare stuff onto my face. I'll use my phone very conveniently for applying whatever I need to apply, and I'm just going to quickly update you on the fact that I finished Rookie Move by Sarina Bowen. And I already told you in the last update that I really was enjoying this book. I finished it and I still feel very much delighted that I picked it up. I mean, these are the kinds of stories, the hockey romances that I've been loving in the past couple of months that I really am connecting with very well. I don't know, I have not really felt such a kick for hockey romances in the past, but when it comes to the past maybe 6 months, they're like all I'm searching for in my life. I don't know what it is. It's just some kind of a phase, I think. But when it comes to this book, there's, I think, only one thing that kind of didn't settle well with me, and that is that the heroine did the silence thing. I'm looking at myself, so it kind of looks like I'm not looking at you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just applying my eye cream here because I'm already getting old, so I definitely need the coverage for the wrinkles. And the thing is, I think we left off with them kind of already reconnecting in the last update, like in one of the away trips, that they already felt a physical connection together. And really throughout the story, we know that Leo is pining for her. He feels like she's always been the one for him. So he's all in. He's kind of wanting her back. He's going to want to do anything to get her back, while she's really reluctant to get him back. She feels like with the trauma that she's been through, with the years that have passed, that and also the position that she's in, that she's working for the same team as he is, and really this is her dream job, that it's kind of difficult for her to get past really seeing an opportunity to be with him. So the thing is, she's reluctant, he's all in, and we're getting at this stage where the heroine starts doing stupid things, or at least she makes stupid decisions. Instead of talking to him about stuff that happens, because she overhears a conversation where she hears that he may get traded because he's been really doing well on the team, and being traded will be lucrative for the team. So basically what happens is she hides this information from him, and she decides that it's better to not get into deep into their relationship because she has a very big chance of losing him. And instead of communicating with him, I mean, come on, you're grown ups, just talk about it, because maybe he'll offer you to come with him. Maybe that will be a better opportunity for you. Maybe you'll figure out something else. Why do you have to sacrifice your chance for happiness with someone that you've loved your whole life for something that I don't get? Anyway, so that was the thing that really bugged me at the 70% mark within the book. And things happened, and eventually they got together. I don't want to ruin the whole plot for you, but basically, I really did like this story. I have to say that Sarina Bowen has a way of making me really enjoy her books. I've given most of her books 4 stars. I give this one 4.5 stars. I did round it down to 4 stars because I don't think it has really the 5-star quality, specifically because of that point of the miscommunication really bugged me. If it was something minor, I would have overlooked it, but these kinds of miscommunications with grown-ups really bug me. So yeah, I think 4.5 stars is fair for this book. And because I really enjoyed the first book, I actually binge read the second book, which is Hard Hitter. And I really like that one as well. That one I gave 4 stars. I'm not going to go into the plot because it's not part of this reading vlog, but I may discuss it in one of my future wrap-ups. And yeah, basically, I really enjoyed this book. I'm really on a roll when it comes to the recommendations given to me by ChatGPT. And I'm going to continue on with the Flat Out Love. Flat Out Love. That one I've already started, so you'll be on the lookout for more updates soon. Hey everyone, it's quite late at night, but I do want to do a quick checkup with you on the book that I started, because otherwise I'll forget my thoughts by tomorrow. I started Flat Out Love by Jessica Park, and I have to say that I don't think that this is really considered a romance. It does have a romance in it, but I think it's more like a contemporary fiction book. It deals with a heroine who is a new adult. Her name is Julie. She is from, I think, somewhere in Ohio, and she's going to college in Boston. And she found this Craigslist ad where she rented an apartment. Her mother gave the down payment for it, but when she came to Boston, she found out that it was a scam, so she has nowhere to stay. Long story short, her mother has a very old college friend with whom she was a roommate that is living in Boston near Harvard because she's a professor there. She lives there with her family, and they decide to give her the opportunity to stay with them until she finds another option to live, another apartment to live. So she goes to their house and she meets the family. It's mother, father, both of them are professors at Harvard. There is one son who is away. His name is Finn. He's like a world traveler. And then we have Matt, who is just admitted, I think, into MIT, or he's first or second year into MIT, so very intelligent guy. And then we have their youngest daughter, whose name is Celeste, and she is a bit peculiar, let's just say, to start off with. So our heroine, she goes to live with them for just a couple of days until she finds another option, and she immediately notices that something is very strange. And the thing is that the youngest daughter, Celeste, she is carrying around a cardboard cutout picture of her eldest brother who is not living with them. His name is Finn. I think I mentioned it. So they have Finn and they call him Flat Out Finn. So Flat Finn, he goes with her everywhere. and she feels weird kind of bringing it up, like asking what is this about, but at the same time she feels weird that she has to ask, like, why are they not explaining it to her anyway, because it's just not something that goes on. It's not just something out of the ordinary. So yeah, so it's a peculiar kind of situation, and she does notice that everyone has their quirks in that family. And the guy, Matt, he tries to help her out to get an apartment somewhere, but everything is just horrible or out of her budget, so she really has no place to go, which is why the mother, Erin, she offers Julia a place to stay for the entire semester. And that way she'll be able to save more money so that she can basically find a better apartment once the semester is over. She's over the moon, so she gets the room that was allotted to Finn, who was not there. And what she does is she finds him on Facebook and she decides to message him because she's like, yeah, I just want to thank this guy that because he's away, I get the opportunity to stay here for the entire semester. And they start chatting with each other. So um, she really starts to develop feelings for this guy. But the interesting thing is I'm kind of, I don't know how many percent I'm into the book, maybe 50 or so, I don't know. I'm kind of starting to get the sense that he is not Finn, or that Finn is not real, or that something has happened to him. And I'm kind of feeling like the other brother is writing those Facebook chats with Julie. I don't know. I really feel like something is going on that is not how it's presented, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm very curious. I'm really liking it so far. I have to say that it's a very interesting book. It's not what I expected. I didn't know anything about this book, to be honest, before I started it. So I'm pleasantly surprised by this one as well. So I'll just update you once I finish it and let you know what I thought about it. And yeah, see you soon. You can't see it, but I've just been shedding tears with Flat Out Love. Oh, yeah, I was right. Finn is dead. He's had an accident, and this whole family, they've been trying to cope somehow, but the loss is too big. And what has been going on with Julie messaging Finn? Obviously, it was Matt, the other brother, who was in Finn's account, and he was messaging her. So technically, Matt really did fall in love with Julie, and Julie fell in love with the version that Matt presented as Finn. But she is just so crushed by the fact that he betrayed her, that Matt betrayed her, that she can't find a way to kind of forgive him. So, yeah, I've been shedding tears here because we're at this point in the book when it's Finn's birthday, and Celeste, the sister who has been having mental issues with the passing of her brother, she has gone missing, and they found her at the site where he had the accident. And she admitted, like, she explained, I'm not crazy, you know. I do know that he's dead, and because I've had this active imagination, I've wanted to kind of keep him alive and cope in that way. But she realizes that the person who has been kind of their glue for the past year has been Julie, and they've been hurting her with everything that they've been doing. They've been keeping things from her deliberately, and now she feels very betrayed by all of them. So, well, she explains it very well. She's like, I don't feel like I can be angry with people who have gone through so much grief, but she's definitely hurt and disappointed And that's what got to me, That's why I think really I got really emotional, because I could really understand that she doesn't want to be in this predicament. She wants everything to be alright. She's fallen in love with this family, with everyone. And now she feels like she has lost everyone. So, and I really feel for Matt. He loves her so much and he is desperate. He would do anything to make it better, but he sees that there's nothing he can do, that he needs to let her go, and that's really makes me feel emotional as well. I'm going to try not to cry too much, because when I cry I get very stuffy and I've not been feeling well at all today, so I'm gonna try to keep the tears at bay. And I think I have only a couple of chapters left. I think I'm going to do the wrap up soon, and I'll tell you what I thought about it. Currently, I'm loving this book. It's very, very much a special kind of book. So, yeah, I'll update you soon once I finish it. Hi everyone, I finally have my voice back. Yay! So now I can give you an update on what it was like, what the experience was like with the books that I read when it comes to AI recommending me books. So I use ChatGPT. I've mentioned my newly acquired friend so many times already throughout this vlog, but yeah, you can definitely look it up. It's free to use. At least I think like the basic version is free to use at the moment, and then they're going to do a beta or some kind of another version that you're probably going to have to pay for if you want to have like the kinks removed from it or whatever. But the free version just worked decently enough for me. So I finished the third book that I had started that ChatGPT had recommended for me, which is Flat Out Love, and I really love that book. It's such an interesting read. It has such a unique way of going through grief for the different characters involved in the traumatic event that happened in the book. Every one of the family members who was dealing with grief was dealing with it differently. And when we had an outside person, the heroine, come into their situation and provoke them into talking about it or into explaining to her what is going on, we really saw how everyone was dealing with it differently and how she managed to really get them out of their stuck way of living, their kind of depressed way of living. Basically, each one of them was living day by day but not really living. So she kind of really jumped into their lives and made them come back to life somehow for each of them. So I was really happy that I picked up this book because I didn't expect it to be this good. I gave it 5 stars, and it's definitely now a very special read for me. And I immediately picked up, there is a novella which is Flat Out Matt, which are a couple of the chapters of the first book told through his perspective, and I do love this one. So it's not going to be a 5-star read, obviously, but it's still endearing to read some of the scenes through his perspective. So I'm going to finish that today. And yeah, I'm gonna say that this experience overall has been a very interesting, positive, surprising, definitely, I would say, I don't know what the word is, but maybe like exhilarating. So when you discover something new, something that you didn't know that you would benefit from so much, and it really worked for you, that's how I feel at the moment, because I definitely want to use ChatGPT in the future to have recommendations from AI, because now I've seen 3 out of 3, right? The first one, the first book, Until It Fades, I gave 5 stars. The second one, Rookie Move, I gave 4.5 stars. and Flat Out Love I gave 5 stars as well. So 3 out of 3 is a perfect score for me, and I definitely will probably do this again. Let me know if you like this vlog. Let me know if I should do another one sometime in the future. If you try this out by any chance on your channels, please let me know so I can watch your videos as well to see what it recommends to you, because that would be great for me to see as well. And yeah, overall I had a blast with this experience, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Please like my video if you liked it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel as well if you want to follow my content, and I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care, and bye-bye.